This group of excited citizens claim to hail from Lira District. Minister for Health, Jane Ruth Aceng, is in their company. But this scenario has been criticized owing to the current situation of COVID-19 pandemic that calls for social distancing and wearing face masks.
Whoever discovered social media is playing a very good role. We want to thank those people who were in Lira attending the function of the Minister of Health, Ruth Aceng, who is the Minister of Health also in good health. I want to put this on record, that the Minister of Health, whatever is rotating around COVID-19 ever since it has begun, she's the mastermind of every statement, every report the President has been reading to the public for the last almost 16 press releases he has been putting across the country.
The latest groups of people to express displeasure are MPs.
And what is governing us now that has made Ugandans suffer, closing borders, closing arcades, stopping borders, bars and everything, is as a result of the Minister of Health. Last week, we were in Parliament bringing new regulations that are going to be used to conduct elections through Minister of Health regulations that are going to stop us from having campaigns and moving around the people. Now, the lady who sits next to the President in what I would define as pretense was seen in Lira during broad daylight because he has joined the band of the wagon of campaigns, but feeling that the country is safe, she has to acquire her vote. She was seen in public, campaigning directly and dancing a kadodi with the supporters of hers whom she wants to get votes from her. Now, when the President was communicating this State of National Address, the President said that there were some people who were declared COVID positive from doctors of Mulago, yet they were negative. And all the statistics are given by this lady. So we are saying, as members here, members of Parliament, we have been continuously complaining with the floor of Parliament. Why there is no unlock, why borders are arrested, why they are stopping people, why do we have a curfew for the last 5 months? Here we got a very good answer from the person in charge of health, telling the public that members, kindly, there is no COVID in this country, we can move on and campaign. That's why you are seeing me moving in public without a mask, meeting masses of people. I want to tell you, Mr. Museveni, now it is high time you opened up the country, people go back to their normal life. So, Dr. Ruth Aceng, who is a doctor and once a director of health, who is a full minister of health, has assured us that we can move out all these things we did last week, regulations, whatever, were null and void. Now, if the person who brought the regulations has flouted them before they are put into practice by the Electoral Commission, what do you want from Macho, what do you want from Kasiwante and the rest of Ugandans? Meaning that the country is secure. Who is the first person to tell us? It is Ruth Aceng.
And Busia is on the lockdown due to the advice of the Minister of Health, Dr. Aceng. I am very grateful, very, very grateful indeed, when I witnessed on media and I saw her launching her campaigns officially and not even wearing a mask. I came to believe that truly what she has been talking and as an advisor to the President on issues of guidelines, this has been pretense. Pretense that has caused our people to suffer on the 40 border districts. Because as I talk now, the borders of Busia, the taxi drivers of Busia, they have gone through demonstrations, the cross-border business people have suffered a lot. 4 complete months of lockdown, no person can come out of Busia and enter Busia, even if you are lovely as how. But there is a saying that leaders, we must walk the talk. I don't agree with this when the minister explains that there was a saga because the people of Lira, since they are born, they have never seen a mask. They were fighting to see how masks look like. This is a total lie. That was a total political lie. That's why even women came with branches of trees, waving, singing, saying, this is our person. They did not sing that, where are our masks? Because the masks were not even enough to the population of people. But whereas at the same time, why did the Minister of Health choose to visit only Lira when she has never visited any border district that has been on a lockdown for 4 months? We have never seen her in Busia. We have a big quarantine center, no food. We have a border health, which needs a supervision and the visit of the minister. She has never been there, but because she went to launch.
The legislators threatened to follow Aceng's example of what they call floating preventive guidelines unless she apologizes and faces reprimand.
Dr. Ruth Aceng must answer, and we are going to put this one across to Parliament tomorrow. She has to be disciplined for not to put on masks, but for misleading this country. What is being done is a gimmick to advance political and economic interests, because they can't allow some of us to meet with our voters, and we're now seeing them, mixing with them, even without masks. So we cannot sit back. There are economic interests within this, and actually, Dr. Ruth Aceng must answer, and we are going to put this one across to Parliament tomorrow. She has to be disciplined for not to put on masks, but for misleading this country and leading to loss of billion shillings of the taxpayer. For example, what are they doing with billion shillings that we have always seen being apportioned to COVID-19 pandemic? When the patients lying there are only fed, or they are only actually treated with vitamin C tablets. What is the cost of vitamin C, and how many are there?
Most of us have been saying that this disease is being politicized for the benefits of the current government. They don't want to say that the lockdown is over because they know the elections are near. They want to stop crowds to come together for campaign purposes. That is why they still control those crowds by saying there is a lockdown. We see so many things going in a different direction, moreover headed by leaders, especially ministers. So Madam Ruth Aceng owes us an apology, first as a country, to all Ugandans, in fact to the whole world, because she's been the one communicating to the World Health Organization directors, and what? They are the ones who have been giving her those SOPs for us Ugandans to observe. So she must apologize.
However, this could tantamount to applying two wrongs, which in most cases do not make a right. The MP's concerns come at a time the Minister for Health had already responded, clarifying that she was distributing face masks. Responding to similar concerns on Sunday, Minister for Information and National Guidance, Judith Nabakova, regretted the incident.
Because we know very well the guidelines have been repeatedly announced over and over again, and we expected that each and every one should follow these guidelines.
I'm happy that the Honorable Minister Nabakova came out openly and said this was a mess and apologized. Now, since the Minister of Nabakova Information apologized, I think, number one, the Minister of Health should not move near our president, because the population that was moving around her is too big that we doubt whether among all those people they were all COVID-19 negative.
However, that should not be an excuse for Ugandans to use Dr. as an example to abandon the guidelines put in place.
Minister Nabakova's statement confirms that COVID-19 is still present and flouting preventive guidelines could be a disaster to the country.
So what are we saying? Either this lady must go to the disciplinary committee of Parliament, Madam Speaker must lead us there, but even before that, we don't need anything. We want the country opened up. The best person, the first person, the custodian of health, determining our life now, has opened up for everybody that we can move out of the country. And that's what we have been saying continuously. So we say, let us move and continue campaigns. Madam Ruth Aceng, God be to God be the glory. To God be the glory. You have helped us. We can't continue suffering. Now this country is secure. Airplanes are not flying into the country. They are not bringing people who have been out of the country. Borders are closed. He's from Busia. Nothing is going on. And Ilira, we know the distance between Ilira and the Guru. And what, so what else do we need? So we want to thank the Honorable Minister. And I think tomorrow she should appear in Parliament to make a statement that what I did was not just delivered. It was not a mere puff. But I was saying that the country is secure. That's why I had that kind of movement and campaigned, danced with my people. Because I'm going for elections, everybody should follow suit of what I did.